Oh, Marty, I just love Christmas time, setting up the tree, doing the lights. Don't you like doing this? Marty?
Yeah.
Don't you like doing the Christmas tree? Get the cookies and the milk for Santa.
What are your girlfriend? Wolf!
Marty, get off the laptop. Are we going to do the tree or not?
Oh, are you doing it? Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't see it. Okay.
Well, here.
Here, wait. Here. Okay, take that.
Thank you.
Here.
So, what is your favorite part about Christmas, Marty?
Decorating the tree. Let's put some balls on that tree. Here.
Okay.
This one's blue.
All right.
Put the blue ball on.
So, are we gonna watch a movie for Christmas?
Okay.
Like we always do?
Okay.
I was thinking. Here, another ornament.
Jump for Dad. Jump.
Oh, thank you. I was thinking since you're a little bit older, maybe we could do, something besides the Grinch. Aren't you getting tired of the Grinch?
Yeah, I know all about him.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. What if we did Christmas Story?
Christmas story.
Yeah.
Christmas story. I'll shoot my eye out if I have to watch that. Here's the Jingle Bell.
All right. All right. Well, what about Christmas Vacation?
Vacation? Are we gonna go on vacation? Are we gonna go to Disney World?
No, the movie. Yeah, that's probably just too much for you, anyways.
Vacation.
What about Home Alone?
Yeah, I know all about Home Alone.
No.
Always Home Alone.
The movie Home Alone. You don't know what Home Alone is?
Is it about things to do when I'm home alone?
Marty, you don't know what Home Alone is? We
I
have
know
to
everything
watch it.
about
It's a
Home
classic.
Alone.
No,
I've
not
never
like
seen
that. I work all the time. That's why you're home alone.
Oh, yeah.
It helps you get,
Kibble in the bowl.
Yeah, kibble in the bowl. Do you want me to bring home the kibble or not?
I like this one. You should put him on.
All right. Well, why don't we watch the movie?
Put him in the front, Dad.
And they have games.
Yeah, put him in the front.
Okay. Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
They have games for Home Alone. We could do the movie and the games.
We're decorating the tree.
Yeah, we'll decorate the tree and then we'll watch the movie.
Oh.
Why don't we put a couple more and then we'll finish?
Okay, here. How about this one? It's the Jingle Bell and Angel.
Okay, where do you want to put them?
Right in the front. Right in the front.
All right, and then we can try you can try the Genesis and the Super Nintendo for the first time.
Oh, okay. One more?
Okay, one more.
One more ball. That's a green one.
You do like the balls, don't you?
Yeah, I miss them.
Well, there we go. All right, you ready to watch the movie?
Okay, and then we'll decorate the rest of the
Then we'll
tree.
decorate the rest of the tree.
Okay.
All right, let's do it.
Yep.
Marty, what do you think of the movie?
Oh, I loved it. It was the best
I
movie.
told you the movie's
I
great.
love it. I can't wait to play the games.
Okay, so Marty, I have to tell you, the games are a little bit,
Oh.
they're not the best.
Well, I'll be the judge of that.
All right, well, you want to start with the second
Yeah.
ones? All right, here you go. All right, get it going. Okay, for the first Home Alone, I decided to try the Master System version, and it's not half bad. This version of the game has a very early arcade feel to it. The game is split into 29 levels, where you are given an objective to collect and deposit an X amount of jewels scattered throughout the level. There are 3 ways you can lose. If the timer runs out, or if one of the bandits touches you, the level ends. The bandits can also end the level if they pick up a jewel and exit the area. This creates a game where you have to battle the clock while keeping an eye on the bandits to make sure they're not grabbing your items. Each level gives you 3 tries to complete it, which usually gives you enough time to figure out what you need to do for that particular level. Home Alone on the Master System is simple and fun and really not what I expected. The controls are good minus climbing the stairs, although I think this issue I was having was tied more with the other issues with the game crashing. And speaking of crashing, this is one of the main roadblocks I kept hitting while playing the game. The Master System version was a PAL territory exclusive, so I knew there was going to be an issue running the game at NTSC 60Hz refresh as opposed to the 50Hz PAL refresh rate. I assumed the audio was going to be off, but my issue was that the game kept crashing in multiple ways. Sometimes the clock would stop, the bandits would stop moving, I would fall through the level, and even the dog in some of the levels just kept sticking to a part of the screen. I started playing it on my Genesis, which provides the best picture, but seemed to crash the most, which I assumed was because I don't have a PAL switch on mine. I switched over to using my Wii to play the game, and it seemed to have the least amount of crashes, but the picture took a huge hit as you can see in the footage. I tried changing the output on my Wii to the PAL 50Hz output in the Master System emulator settings since my TV can accept a 50Hz signal, but the game seemed to crash more. I finally gave up after trying multiple times. I've seen other people in videos playing it without any problems, so it must be either my copy or something else that I'm doing wrong. It's a shame too because I had a lot of fun playing it. If you do get a good version of the game, I highly recommend it. It's pretty fun. Genesis Home Alone. This game is split into two parts, Kevin on his sled in the neighborhood and Kevin inside each of the houses. When you're on a sled, you gather resources from snowmen scattered throughout the neighborhood, booby trap houses, and find the wet bandits. If you can enter a home before the bandits do, then you are given the option to booby trap the house. You can also collect parts scattered throughout the various rooms for weapons, and you'll find out very quickly that gathering these parts is crucial to doing well. Once you find the bandits' van driving around, you'll have to watch and see which house they enter. Once they enter a home, then the second part of the game begins. A loot meter will appear and you'll have to enter the home and prevent Harry and Marv from taking everything in the house. Using the items found in the houses as well as the snowmen outside, you will craft weapons to use against the bandits. Each time you attack them, it stops them from stealing, as well as slowly raising a pain meter. Once the pain meter fills, the game will stop and tally your points. The bandits will then leave. Now, if the bandits succeed in looting the whole house, you get a message saying that the house flooded and you receive no points. Either way, that particular house is done, and the game goes back to the neighborhood where the bandits find a new house. Rinse and repeat this process until the main timer runs out. Some of the houses do have things that attack both you and the bandits, such as a ghost, spider, and robot, and they act like the booby traps you can set. They hurt the bandits a little bit, but attacking them with your weapons is the main thing you should be worried about. I kept running out of ammo, so I had to leave the house, find ammo in the snowmen, and return before they fill the loot meter. The game sounds great on paper. Managing resources, setting traps, crafting, what's not to like? Writing this review, I kept thinking, wow, maybe I need to play it again. But believe me, don't do it. It's a trap. The sled parts merely act as a way to get resources, and the rest of the game is just underdeveloped. If you run out of ammo in a house and Harry and Marv are blocking your exit, then you are stuck in that particular room until they decide to walk past you. You cannot jump over them, and touching them results in their pinning you to a wall. When they pin you to the wall, a lot of times they will go back to looting the same thing, blocking your exit again. Oh, it annoyed me so much. And okay, I realize this is a result of my playing the game badly. If I do a better job at getting ammo in the empty houses as well as snowmen before going after the bandits, then this would not be a problem. But punish me in a different way. Don't make me wait there for the bandits to finish what they're doing. Make me take damage for touching them, or make the rate of looting increase if I leave the house. Now, if you do have enough ammo, the gameplay devolves into you're shooting them, waiting for them to unfreeze, then shooting them again. Repeat until the pain meter fills and the house section is done. Adding more depth to this part of the gameplay alone would make the game so much better. Since this is a points-based game, you can finish it without fully stopping them in any of the houses as long as the main timer runs out before they loot every house. Selecting the difficulty determines how long you have to hold off the bandits. I just played on beginner because I was not playing this for 40 minutes straight on expert. I really wanted to like this game. I thought the graphics in the indoor parts were actually pretty good. I like the different animations of the bandits getting hit by your weapons, such as the bubblegum or the rubber bands. I just wish there would have been more depth to the fighting parts. Home Alone for Nintendo is not a full game. It's more of a demo. It is like they got the basic mechanics down for a game and then just called it a day. The entire premise of the game is not to get caught for 20 real minutes by the bandits. If one of the bandits touches you, it's game over. When a bandit gets close to you, you can drop different items that appear throughout the level, which knocks the bandits unconscious for a short period of time. Each item has a picture of some type of trap from the movie, but they all do the same thing. Items stop bandits for varying periods of time, but I never put in the time to see which items are stronger. Once the time hits 0, the game cuts to a screen of the police taking the bandits away, and that's it. I remember renting this as a kid and being so sad I wasted my weekend rental. I didn't understand the point of the game. I thought there was something I had to do to get to the next level. I would go into the basement thinking you could actually hide from the bandits. I guess I thought the AI was advanced enough that I could hide from it. Of course they caught me every time and I thought, man, they must be seeing me when I go into the basement of the house. You know, looking back, I tended only to rent shitty games, or maybe those are the only ones I remember. My Nintendo renting memories focus around the game Jaws, Friday the 13th, and this. On a side note, this was developed by Bethesda Softworks, which later brought you the Elder Scrolls and Fallout series. It is neat to see the beginnings of companies that are well known today, but overall this game is bad. If you want an 8-bit Home Alone, stick with the Sega Master System version. Home Alone on the Super Nintendo is similar to the Master System version, having more of a simple arcade feel. You have to collect a specific amount of items in each level and deposit them into a vault. This one is a bit different in the fact that you have to drop items down a laundry chute to the basement first, then go down to the basement and complete a platforming section and boss battle in order to complete the level. Items have to be revealed by jumping through different objects and opening dresser drawers, cabinets, and even toilet seats. Each level has a counter showing how many items you need to put down the laundry chute before you can go to the basement. There is a limit to how many items you can carry in your backpack at once, so there is some back and forth in each level. There are a total of 4 levels and can all be beaten in about 30 minutes. I never played this as a kid, but I think I would have had a better understanding of what to do, unlike the Nintendo version. Each level has Marv and what I think is Harry attacking you, as well as some other enemies. And who is this guy? He's in the Home Alone 2 games as well. Did the Mafia get involved in the video game adaptation of the movie? The opening cutscene shows just Marv and Harry in the van, but I guess they contract their robberies out. Enemies in the game are not too difficult and more of a nuisance than anything. Jumping in the game feels a little weird, and this game suffers from platforms that require you landing perfectly on them not to fall through. But none of this is too terrible. This was one of the better Home Alone games. With exception to the Nintendo Home Alone, all the games with simple concepts seem to fare better in my opinion. This one is definitely better than some of the games to come. Marty, what do you think of the games? Yeah, not that great.
They could have been worse, I guess.
Yeah.
But they could have been better.
Just this game, kind of blah, huh?
Yeah.
The Sega Master System game's not that bad.
No.
Yeah.
Ho-hum.
Well, I hate to break it to you, bud, but it gets a little bit worse from here.
How much worse?
Well, pretty bad. How about you, give it a play?
Oh, I guess I'll finish what I started.
Alright, let's go. Okay, back again on the Genesis with the sequel. This one is a departure from the original game. Where the first one was more strategic, this is just a simple, boring platformer. I hated the first game, but now I'm kind of missing it after playing this. Every level has some enemy whose sole purpose is to make you turn off the game. Level 1, the police officers. Level 2, the stupid pipes and guys with suitcases. This level has you in a luggage area of the airport. Do you remember this from Home Alone 2? You know, when Kevin was running on conveyor belts and falling into tubes? Yeah, me either. Level 3 has icicles, water pipes, and cats. Here you get introduced to the zip lines as well, which require you to press up on the D-pad just at the right moment or go through it. Level 3 is really not that bad, but it still sucks. Level 4 has these stupid flying boxing gloves and airplanes. The planes take 2 hits to kill, and after the first hit they have a few frames of invincibility, so they still come towards you but you can't hurt them. By the time you can hit them again, they're on top of you and they'll knock you off a platform. There's a part at the beginning of the level where you have to drop down these platforms until you get to one, where you have to make a jump over a pipe. If you miss the jump, you get sucked up the pipe and you have to do the whole thing over again. The problem is at that platform, there's 2 planes going back and forth trying to hit you. You can't hit them because they go invincible for a few frames, So you basically have to wait for them to disappear to make the jump, but you don't really know that the way the level scrolls down, so you keep getting sucked into the pipe over and over and over again. Once you make the jump, the rest of the level is fine, but till that part, you'll want to turn the game off. It's completely ridiculous. Level 5 has homeless ninjas at the beginning. Why are there homeless ninjas? I don't know. The level has you traveling on rooftops via zip lines again, and making these jumps is just as annoying as it was on the third level. Each level does have certain parts that you can collect to make a special weapon, but they're really not that necessary. They slow down Marv and Harry longer, but the only time it would have been useful was on level 6, and I don't think the weapon was even there on that level. The game basically boils down to enemies attempting to knock you off of platforms, which makes it difficult for the wrong reasons. Also, there's this guy who shows up in 2 levels. In level 1 he has balloons, level 3 he has a broom, and his twin has a pizza. I kind of feel bad for him. You just attack him for no reason. Maybe Harry and Marv aren't the bad guys. They're really trying to prevent you from hurting people. Level 6 was the worst level. You have to get through the house that was under renovation in the movie. You have both the bandits chasing you on the first floor, but as soon as you climb the ladder to the second floor, Harry magically teleports in front of you, knocking you off the ladder. You then have Marv waiting for you at the bottom to take all of your life. This was the only level that I lost more than 1 life, and it is a true test of your patience. The first time I played through it, I turned off the game and I was thinking about just trying to find a level select to record the rest of the levels because I didn't want to beat it. Eventually though, I went back and beat the whole thing, but it's a terrible level. Level 7 has you navigating a series of pipes. It's probably the easiest level. There are bugs that can attack you, but they're not difficult, and again, it's another great scene from the movie. Level 8 and the final level is set in Central Park with the homeless ninjas again. The trick to this level is just to make a mad dash to the end. Don't try to climb the trees for the items, just run right. As long as you get ahead of the bandits before the end of the level, you shouldn't have any problems. You have to climb this giant Christmas tree and touch the homeless lady from the movie, and then she flies down with some doves and the whole game ends. It takes about 25 minutes to beat, and you'll be thankful that it's this short. Can you imagine being a kid in 1993 and getting this for Christmas? Billy, your friend down the street, calls you and says he got Aladdin and Gunstar Heroes. What sadness this game brought to children that holiday season. Reminds me of my birthday in 1994. My mom had taken me to a local store and said I could get 1 game, but I saw that Lawnmower Man and Toys being with Robin Williams, not Toy Story, was on sale for Super Nintendo for half price. Probably one of the worst decisions made on a birthday. Buyer's remorse is so much more intense when you're a kid too, because you don't have money to buy something else. The music that plays in Toys still haunts me to this day. Those games ruined my birthday, just like Home Alone 2 for the Genesis probably ruined the Christmas and birthdays of other kids. Home Alone 2 for the Nintendo and Super Nintendo is really good. Best movie-based video game I've ever played. These 2 games are terrible. This is another platformer spanning 4 levels where the difficulty lies not in getting past the enemies and the obstacles, but figuring out what you're supposed to do in each level. In the first level set in the Plaza Hotel, you'll be stuck at the elevator wondering why it won't open. I'm not sure if this was a time sequence or you have to press the elevator button a million times like I did. Most people give up at this part, including me the first time I played. Once you get on the elevator, it'll take you to random floors where you have to walk to the end of the hall, fight bellhops, maids, old ladies, and vacuum cleaners. Once you reach the end of the hall, you have to walk all the way back to the elevator where it takes you to another floor of the hotel. You do this a couple of times till it'll take you to a floor with a service elevator at the end of the hall. The game gives you no indication of what you're supposed to be doing, so you keep checking rooms looking for a key or some indication for what the point of the level is. This type of cryptic level design continues throughout the rest of the game. The Nintendo and Super Nintendo versions are basically the same except the graphics and sound, and when you see the graphical changes you'll start to wonder if the Nintendo version could have been rebranded as another game. In the first hotel level there are these maids inside each of the rooms that throw pillows at you. In the Super Nintendo version, everything seems fine, but in the Nintendo version, The maze decided to throw pillows that are covered in... Wait, is that blood? Wait. Where is she pulling those pillows from? Wait, did I go in room 237? Yes, the first level is not Home Alone, but rather The Shining. You're not Kevin. You're Danny. That guy? Oh, that's Lloyd, the bartender. And that guy over there? That's Mr. Grady, the previous caretaker. Some of the enemies in the Super Nintendo version have a little bit more to them, but they're basically the same. The sprite of Kevin is very questionable in the Super Nintendo version. Is he wearing sunglasses, or is that some kind of visor that Geordi wears in Star Trek? Kevin's running animation is also terrible. Just compare it to the running animation from the original Home Alone on Super Nintendo. At least his arms animate in the first game when holding a gun. The Super Nintendo version also has more sound effects and music tracks, but they're all terrible, so it doesn't really matter. The music will actually cut out when the sound for picking up an item plays. High quality development there. This version, like the Sega Genesis, ends with you having to climb a giant Christmas tree. This time, though, you had to fight Harry and Marv with the help of the homeless pigeon lady. It's weird, though, because at one part of the game, she puts you through almost like a trial where you had to survive her pigeon attacks. The game grew on me a little bit each time I played, but I think this is just development of some version of Stockholm Syndrome. Stay away from it. Alright, Bub, it's time for bed.
Okay.
Oh, look what you got here.
It's a treat for Santa.
And you got the milk, too.
Yeah.
So, what is all this?
Well, I got a hug for Santa, and
Okay.
then I got a carrot for the reindeer.
And what about the Peapod?
Oh. Well, maybe that could be for me.
Marty,
Please.
what is Christmas? Okay.
Oh, thanks, Dad.
Merry Christmas, Marty.
Merry Christmas, Dad.
And
And
to
to
all
all
a
a good night. Dad.
What?
Dad.
What?
Dad.
What?
Dad, wake up.
What's up, Bob?
I'm scared.
Why are you scared?
I heard 2 bandits outside.
Marty, it's just for watching the movie.
No, I heard them, and one of them's name was Snakes.
Snakes?
Yeah, hurry up, Dad.
You heard snakes?
Yeah. It was a bandit.
Are you sure?
I'm positive.
Sure
I
you
know.
weren't dreaming?
No, it was a bandit. I know a bandit.
Okay, alright. Well, we'll check it, but we gotta get to bed soon.
Okay,
Santa's
hurry
coming.
up, Dad.
Okay. Okay, Marty, I'm gonna check out,
Yeah.
see what's going on out there.
Sounds scary out there, Dad.
Don't
2
worry.
bandits.
We're gonna take care of the bandits. And you said one of them was Snakes, right?
Yeah, one of them's name was Snakes.
Snakes. Why do I know the name Snakes? Alright, well, look,
Sounded tough.
we're gonna take care of them here,
Yeah,
okay?
take the stick, Dad.
Alright. Alright, I'm gonna radio to you out there once I get out there and see what's going on, okay? Keep the doors locked,
Okay.
okay? We'll
Stick
check
it
this
to him,
out.
Dad.
We'll stick it to him. You're right.
Yeah.
Alright.
I feel
Wish me
pretty
luck.
scared. Good luck, Dad.
Thanks, Bub.
Come back. I'll walk you out.
Marty, this is Dad over.
Hi, Dad. It's me, Marty. Are you looking for the bandits? I heard them.
Yes, yeah, I looked. Over.
You didn't hear any bandits? Because I promised that there was 2 out there, and one of them's name was Snakes, and he scared me really, really bad. It's really scary in here, Dad. What is this, peas?
Marty, you have to say over. Over.
Oh, over, Dad.
Yeah, Marty, I'm looking. I'm not seeing any bandits. I'm gonna take one more pass there, but I think we're clear. Over.
Okay, be careful, Dad. I'll be waiting for you in here. Over. Oh, who is that out there? Oh, is that snakes? Oh. Oh, God. Dad! Dad, are you out there? I saw somebody. I saw a bandit. I think I saw snakes, Dad. Dad! Oh, God.
Come on, Marty. Let me in. Come on, Marty, let me in.
Oh, no. Huh. Oh, no. This is it. Battle plan. Engage. I'm doing it for you, Dad. Okay, I've got it all planned out. I know what to do. Squeaky toy traps, set them up. My fur, a fan, and honey, let's get it going. Heavy cans, we got this one. Okay, what else? Everything's secure. I'm ready. Okay, Marty, don't get scared now. Ears up. Let's do it. For Dad.
Oh, jeez. Oh, no. Oh, no, 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 no!